Hey everyone, hey y'all, hey, this is Latoya Dixon Smith of Systems for Photographers, and I'm so excited today because the Dubsado scheduler is finally here. So most of you know that I am a Dubsado user. Dubsado is a CRM or client relationship management tool to help you run your business and keep up with all of your client projects. So you can send contracts, you can send emails through Dubsado. You can get paid through Dubsado, and now you can have your clients book a consultation or a call or any sort of appointment with Dubsado, like all in one. So I'm excited to get into that, but before I do, I'm going to share this in our group. So if you're not already part of the Systems for Photographers community, I would encourage you to join. You can find the link I'll put it in the comments here. If you're watching this from the Systems for Photographers Facebook page, then you can click on the button at the top of the page and it'll take you to the group as well. Awesome. So welcome those of you who are joining. I'm so excited to meet you guys here because I haven't gone live on this page. I don't think I've ever gone live on this page. But this is a worthy cause because I use Dubsado so much, and I also help my clients, those who book a whiteboard session. So all that behind me, that's going in Dubsado for a client. And those of you who also book a full complete setup, it's also through Dubsado. So as you're coming in, as you're watching, please let me know who you are, where you're from, so that I can greet you, because even though this is the internet, I do like to greet the folks who are coming in and who are watching or taking some time out of your day to learn more about how Dubsado can work for you, and especially as I'm showing you this new feature of it. So I'm just going to jump right into it. If you're watching the replay, feel free to let me know, say hello. Let me know too if you are a Dubsado user. And if you're not, even if you're not a Dubsado user, I want to know what CRM you're using, because I know we did a poll inside of our group to see what most people are using. A lot of people are using Dubsado, a lot of people are using Honeybook, PicSpotter, and some people aren't using one at all. So maybe this is something that will help you make your decision, or at least give you an insight into what other features are inside of Dubsado. But specifically today, we're going to be looking at the scheduler. So I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully you can see that. So if you're watching, let me know if you can see my screen before I start rambling on and showing you a few different things about what I'm doing. And I have a little bit of a delay here, so hopefully you can see it. Okay, I think we're able to see it. So let me move this out of the way so that I can see what I'm doing. All right, so if you look on the left-hand side here, for a while, if you have Dubsado, you will have remembered this little blue box said coming soon for the longest. And it was such a teaser, and this is like the one feature that they had on their list that I was strongly hoping that they would release it first. But now it says beta. And so when you're in your Dubsado dashboard, when you sign in, when you scroll down to the right here, you'll see that scheduler under your template. So if you don't see it, it's probably because you have to click templates and then click on scheduler. Okay, 1 second. All right, so let's click on scheduler, and you'll see this because I was playing around with it a little earlier today, but it is super easy, super quick to set it up. All you really need is to have an idea of what your schedule is, as well as have an idea of what emails that you want to send to your clients to let them know to schedule whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm going to delete this because it wasn't really anything. So when you go into your Dubsado dashboard, you'll see scheduler templates, and it says you currently have no appointment scheduler templates. click the Add Template button to get started, and that's going to be right up here in the top right corner. Okay, click Add Template, and then it's going to show you an appointment name. You're going to give this your appointment name. So whatever it is, whether it's your initial consultation, whether it's to book a shoot, whether it's to set up an IPS appointment, ordering appointment, whether it, whatever that is, whatever you need to schedule time out to meet with a client, a vendor, or anyone else that you want to meet with, this is where you set that appointment name. So let's just call it initial consultation. Okay, so this is the initial consultation. Let's say this is the incoming part of your workflow where someone expresses interest that they want to book with you, and you want to talk with them, whether it's in person or whether it's face to face. You make that determination, but for the sake of this, we'll assume this is a phone call. Okay, so the next field is appointment duration. Now they have it blocked off into 15-minute increments up to, 15-minute increments, but they don't have 45 minutes. I don't know why they discriminated against 45 minutes, but it's not on there. Or you can click a custom time and say, let's say if you wanted to do it for 10 minutes or whatever. But let's just put 30 minutes on there. When can this appointment be scheduled? So rolling day window. So rolling day window is what it says. If you want it to only be scheduled within the next 14 days, you can do a 14-day window, or something longer or shorter to that effect. If you have any sort of preferences of when someone can schedule with you. I don't really use that. I typically use indefinitely. Sometimes I don't like to book it too far in advance, depending on what it is. But you can use the rolling day window or a fixed date range, which means it can only they can only book between this date and this date. Let's say you have you have something coming up, or there's like a particular month that you don't want to be booking anything, then you can use that fixed date range as well. Or you can select indefinitely, which there are no restrictions to when someone can book. Okay. All right. So let's just say it's indefinitely, and the next part of this is selecting which times you are available. I know for me personally, let's see, did I do a fixed date range? Okay, let's clear that. All right, so I know, me personally, I usually schedule my appointments on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I have a block for Tuesday morning, and I have a block for Wednesday evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Dubsado when I want to have my times available. So I'm going to remove this 9 to 5 here because I'm not accepting calls 9 to 5. Let's say I start at 10. So I'm going to scroll down here to 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to, let's see, Tuesdays I have 10 a.m. to about 3. Sorry, no, that's before then. 10 a.m. to 2, because I know I have to go pick up my son at 3:45, so I don't like to schedule anything after 2 p.m. pretty much. So I'm going to add that time. And you know what the funny thing about this is? This looks very similar to Calendly. I don't know if any of you have already had a scheduler or if you use a scheduler, but Calendly looks very similar to this. If you go in its back end when you're trying to set up your available times, it looks very similar. And even how it says all Tuesdays, I'm going to click all Tuesdays because I want it to always be the same times that I'm going to book for Tuesdays. I know Wednesdays are my evening available times, so I'm going to X that off. Wednesdays, I'll start booking appointments from 6 p.m. until about 8 p.m. So not a lot of time on Wednesdays, but I really prefer my appointments be done in the mornings anyway. But I do have clients who work during the day and who may not be able to get that 10 to 2 time frame, so they have the option to book on this 2-hour time frame. All right, we'll click all Wednesdays, and again, I know that I don't really accept calls on Thursday. I don't set up calls on Thursdays. Now, if someone calls me, of course, I will prefer that they schedule it. But if I do get a call through my business phone number, I will more than likely answer it. And then on Fridays, hold on. Cancel that. Apply to all Thursdays, so there's nothing on Thursdays. And then, of course, on Fridays, apply to that. And Mondays, Mondays are my CEO days, so that's really just me taking time to dedicate to my own business. So I don't offer time slots, so I'll apply that too. Okay, so you've got your times in there, and next it asks you to show if you're available or busy. We're obviously busy during that time. We also talked about this initial consultation being a phone call. So what I usually like to do for a location is to put, I will call you if I know that in my lead capture form or in whatever form that I have, that I'm going to ask them for their phone number. Now, you can also put a Zoom link. I use that for some of my session types or some of my appointment types. Like if I have a client who is not local and we need to do a reveal session of their images, then I will schedule a Zoom call and I will just put a Zoom link in there. Or even if I want to have an initial consultation with a client, I will typically put in a Zoom link too, because I like to meet the couples together if I can't meet them in person over a video conference. So I'll put that there. But sometimes if it's just to schedule a phone call, you can put, I will call you. Just make sure that you get their phone number information whenever they schedule. Okay, so the email. You can use a canned email here, and I think they have one already, but I have some canned emails in here. I may have to go back and tailor it to the initial consultation if that's something, there's information that I really want them to know before they book. You go back into your templates over here on the left once we get out of here and go to canned emails and just create a canned email. All right. So the subject line is going to be, and this is all default information. You can go back and change this however you want to. Schedule an appointment for the job title and the brand name. So you're going to have to make sure that with whatever you decide to keep this particular appointment type for, that you assign the right job title. Now, if it's coming through from a lead capture, you're already going to have that job title. Whether it's if they filled out like a lead capture for that's specifically for like portraits or specifically for events or specifically for weddings, then you're going to see that there. And then this is the email body. Hi client, hey client, I like to schedule an appointment with you. Let me know when it's best for you. I would probably change this wording a little bit, but again, this is just default. And then they're going to see the scheduler link here. So let's just say this is what we're going to show the client whenever they want to book. Well, let me save that. What I want to do actually is go back here into advanced. So this was the basic. This is what we just did. But if you click over to advanced, you have some more options. And I think some of these options are even more important. So if you want to prevent people from booking like in the next hour, when you've already got something planned or whatever, you can set when you want them to book in advance, like no less than, let's say, I don't know, 8 hours in advance or 4 hours in advance. Buffer time. This is important so you don't stack your scheduled appointments on top of each other. So in case somebody, runs over when you're talking to them, or, you have to rush people off the phone, or, things like that. You can create a buffer time before the appointment and after the appointment. Let's say, maybe you want 10 minutes before and after. Whatever's comfortable for you. Display available time slots in increments of 30 minutes. That's usually digestible enough for people, especially if your appointment time is, your appointment blocks are 30 minutes. then it's gonna make sense for you to have them in increments of 30 minutes. You can set the allowable maximum appointments per day. If you don't want to be on the phone all day, don't set your scheduler so that you can only have, let's say, 4 appointments per day or whatever. Okay, let me stop for a minute and breathe first. And also thanks so much for everyone who's joining so far. Hey Kendra, hey Carmen, thank y'all so much for joining and watching. And let me know if you have any questions. Of course, feel free to go in there and check it out yourself. It's pretty simple to set up. I'm just going really slow here so that people can see exactly, what the different types of features are, especially those who are new to Dubsado. Yeah. So, you can also, this is a new one. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Allow a maximum total of bookings with the scheduler. So I think this would make more sense if people are scheduling like weddings or something. If they want to use a schedule for that. I can't think of why you would want to cap off the number of appointments, but I guess if there is a situation or if there is a case where you do, then that's where you put it. This is the welcome message. You can add a form, which is key. We talked about that in the previous, on the basics side, where if you're asking them if you're saying, I will call you, you want to make sure that you get their phone number information. So if you have like a different lead capture form or something that you want to attach to it, then you would add your form here. So it's just going to populate all of your forms that you have in your Dubsado dashboard. And if you want to require a deposit to secure a booking, you can click that here. It says create an invoice to be paid prior to the appointment. This is similar to like what Acuity and Calendly, they do this as well. If you want someone, especially if they're making a deposit or a retainer payment for a shoot, you can require a deposit to secure that booking. And then it's gonna, when you click that, it's gonna ask you what the line item is. So you can say retainer for shoot or retainer for whatever it is that you're offering, right? And then put in all this, the same information that you would when you created your packages. Or maybe you wouldn't need sales tax for that. But anyway, you get the idea. And then you would add that there. So let's say they needed that retainer to book you. You put it there, and this is the part I love, set up the reminder email notification, because people forget. And so you want to make sure that you have some sort of reminder so that they don't forget, just in case they do. So the duration, when you click down, I notice it only has minutes or hours. I guess you could put 24 hours in advance, but it would also, I think it would be nice to also have like a day option or whatever, but 24 hours works. And then you would select whatever canned response based on whatever canned emails you have in there, and then add the notification. I don't have one set up right now, but if I did, then you would see this is what would populate. Add notification. Okay? And then save. And that's it. That's how you set up your scheduler. Now, the next question is, okay, well, what does this thing even look like? So when you go back up to where you see you have your scheduler templates up here, you have your copy button, you have a link button, and you have your delete button. So it's not going to show you if you hover over it, it'll show you exactly what it says. Copy, link, and then delete. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can copy it, you can copy the template, copy the link, or delete. So we're going to copy the link here, and it's going to give you this embed code where you can embed it in your website, which is awesome. Dubsado has that feature for like its lead capture forms as well, so that's pretty cool. But also you have a direct link. So we want to see what this looks like, right? So let me copy that, click off of there. And this is what it looks like. This is what your scheduler is going to look like. And I love how it has both the availability and the invoice whenever you get ready to go to the next thing. So it's showing me, it's at the top. You can customize this too. It says greetings from One Union Studios. That's the name of my business. This is the initial consultation. It shows you the duration of the appointment. And again, I will call you, but we want to make sure that you have their phone number before you say something like that, or you have a link to where they can call. They can have a link to where they can connect with you. Over here on the right, it shows you the time zone. So this will be helpful too, especially if you're booking clients that are in a different time zone than you. Make sure that they see the right, or they select the right time zone, because it's going to be different if I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm trying to book somebody who is, in Texas. It's going to be a different time zone. So you'll have to make sure that they select the right time zone. So whenever I click on the available dates, and so they have like a little scroll bar here. This is very, very similar to Calendly, which I think is very interesting. An interesting move from the Dubsado team. I don't know if it's because they have a lot of people who use their platform, who use Calendly, or what, but this is very, very similar in the sense that you see the dates, but you don't necessarily see the times just yet until you click on the day, and then it'll show you what times are available. Okay. And then over here, you can scroll to the next week because we have it set indefinitely. Now, I definitely need to block off Christmas because, one, that's my due date, but also because it's Christmas. So you want to make sure when you go back and you set up your calendar that you make sure that you have holidays blocked off, you have other appointments blocked off, and so on and so forth. Now, the question I will have, too, as they continue to let people play around with this new feature is how do we connect it to our your other calendars? Because I haven't seen that just yet. I know that, well, actually, no, I already do have it set up with my Google Calendar. So I'm hoping that, once I set this up, let me go ahead and do that. So let me take off the invoice and see if it'll show up on my calendar, because that's really important. That's actually the most important. Okay, so hold on. Let me refresh here. Okay, and save. So now it's not going to require me to put an invoice on there, or for them to pay an invoice. So if you take the invoice option off, you don't see it anymore. You just see this part. Okay, so let's say I schedule for 10 a.m. for next Tuesday. This part I actually have not gone through. So y'all are seeing this live as I'm seeing it live. This is what it shows. I swear this looks exactly like Calendly. So of course you put your name. Oh, and it asks you for phone number, so I guess you're good there. What email am I using? And phone number. This is my business phone, so I'm not worried if y'all trying to blow my phone up. It's a business phone. I can block you. I can block you here too. Just kidding. All right, anyway, so submit and finish. And boom, it says your appointment with One Union Studios has been confirmed. It shows them the appointment details, 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November 27th, 2018. It's for 30 minutes, and I will call you, and a confirmation email is on their way. So all that's taken care of, and I love how they have this button here to add it to your calendar. So perfect. I'm loving it. Now, what I'm going to do now is check my own calendar on my phone here to see if I have it set up. If it's showing me that I have an appointment for that day. All right, so that was the 27th at 10 a.m. First, let me check my email to make sure it went to my email. And let me know if y'all have any questions as I'm looking for this. I think this is a, I don't see it just yet. Now, this is another thing that while I love Dubsado, one thing that I do wish they, I guess it's just me being picky. I wish, the emails were a little bit more automatic. Like sometimes it takes about, 5 to 10 minutes for it to go through. So I'm going to check back and I'm going to report back to see if I do get it, because it's not immediately in my inbox. And I'm looking at my calendar here and I don't yet see it. So hold on, Tuesday at 10. So I don't know if that's some bugs they have they're working on or whatever, but I don't yet see it. And let me make sure that it's not here. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, or is there something else that you'd like to see as I am showing this setup as it is? I love it so far. I mean, it's once I figure out, or once that I confirm that all these other things that I'm looking for, the confirming the email and confirming the calendar setup is all fine and dandy. Like I will be switching from Acuity like today, pronto, and calendar. I use two, so I have Acuity because it's free with my my Squarespace website. And then I started off using Calendly anyway because it was really easy to use. So once I confirm that all these other ends are tied up with this new scheduler, then it's on. Okay, I got the email. I just got the email. So I don't know how long that took, but maybe like not even 5 minutes. So let me show you. Actually, let me just show you my okay, so it says appointment with Latoya Dixon Smith is confirmed. So this is from my business email. This is what I see. So it tells me who the appointment is with. So the client name, it gives me the date, time, duration, and location. I can add that event to my own calendar as well. And it gives me options to reschedule the appointment and cancel the appointment. So boom. That's all done and taken care of. Now let me check my calendar and make sure it's there too. It doesn't look like it's in my calendar yet, so I'm not sure that if that's just because I need to figure out somewhere else in Dubsado that I need to set it up. I will be playing around with that and following up to make sure. But I definitely love the fact that this email has been sent here. And let me check my other email to make sure that I got it there too, which it doesn't look like I have. So I'll check on that as well. But I am so excited. I've been waiting on this for a really long time, and I can't wait to have all the bugs, all the bugs and all the new things that I got to get used to with a new feature to be worked out. But I wanted to share this because I was excited about it, and I hope y'all are too. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now, a few things. So one, I did get wind that Dubsado will be increasing their prices soon. So if you're not already on a plan, and if you've been on the fence, you might want to go ahead and make that decision, especially before they increase their prices. They'll probably definitely have an increased pricing structure by 2019. As you know, Dubsado will allow your free trial is up to 3 clients. And I have an affiliate link for 20% off of your first month or your first year. And also I offer services to help you create workflows for Dubsado or for any other CRM that you may be working with, as well as a Dubsado setup. So I think I saw a few of my clients on here. Hey y'all, hey. Check out the scheduler, get it set up. And I did have a client who texted me about it too, because they were on the fence about which scheduler that they wanted to use, but because she uses Dubsado, it's all in there for her. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be doing some follow-up research on, those things that we talked about, like the emails and making sure that the calendar is linked so it blocks off anything else on your calendar, so that it checks your current calendar too, to make sure that there are no conflicting appointments, because that's also important. But thank y'all so much for hanging with me here. I look forward to supporting you if I can. And make sure to, if you're not already in the Systems for Photographers Facebook community, feel free to join. Click on the Systems for Photographers Facebook page. There's a little button up there. It'll take you to the group. All right. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.